Hello everyone, my name is Raúl Jimenez and I am the Computer Science Department Chairperson at Colegio San Ignacio de Loyola in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Today I will be talking about the SAMR model. The SAMR model is a framework created by Dr. Rubén Puente Dura that categorizes 4 different degrees of classroom technology integration. The letters SAMR stand for substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. The first 2 layers, substitution and augmentation, focus on enhancing the learning task, while the next 2 layers, modification and redefinition, focus on actual transformation. The main idea behind this model is to share a common language across disciplines as teachers strive to help students visualize complex concepts. Regardless of the subject matter, teachers are using technology tools to, in the words of Dr. Puente Dura, get at some tricky concept for the students, making it more concrete through visualization. By framing how teachers use these tools, they can share a common language for discussion to enable and facilitate what he calls a community of practice. The first tier is substitution. Here, technology acts as a direct substitute with no functional change to the task. The paper is changed by a tablet or a computer to provide more functionality as students work to complete the same task. Even before the situation in which we find ourselves today, most teachers were already engaged in this tier by having students complete their work in an electronic device. The second tier is augmentation. Here, technology acts as a direct substitute with significant task redesign. The technology is used to redesign parts of the task and transform student learning. Now the same paper is completed in a word processor where the student can check spelling and grammar. Also, being able to share the document with one click and the fact that it can be saved to the cloud and accessed from anywhere is an increase in functionality. The third tier is modification. At the modification level, technology allows for significant redesign. The main difference between augmentation and modification is whether you are reproducing what you have already done at the substitution level, or if you are significantly modifying it but keeping the heart of the matter. This is an actual change to the design of the lesson and its learning outcomes. And also here we can see some student learning transformation. Students working on the same document or paper through the cloud, providing instant feedback to each other, and publishing it online is an example of modification. The fourth and final tier is redefinition. At the redefinition level, technology allows for the creation of new tasks previously unconceivable. Here, if we shift our point of view of technology being another substitute, we can truly start imagining the possibilities. When I say unconceivable, what I mean is how can we redefine a traditional tasks in a way that could not be possible without the technology? For example, the published paper now becomes a web page or a wiki where students can connect with reliable experts online and collaborate with students from other states and even other countries. If we look at the SAMR model next to Bloom's taxonomy, we can see correlations between the two. The 2 enhancement levels of SAMR, substitution and augmentation, are associated with the 3 lower levels of Bloom's taxonomy. Remember, understand, apply. While the 2 other transformational levels of SAMR, modification and redefinition, are associated with the upper levels of the taxonomy. Analyze, evaluate, and create. Every day we strive to create new learning activities that target higher order thinking skills in order to create rich learning experiences for our students, and through the higher levels of SAMR we can accomplish that while integrating technology. Now let's look at an actual lesson that couples SAMR with Bloom's taxonomy. I found this lesson on commonsense.org that explains the coupling of these 2 models using an introduction to statistics course, although the general pattern can be applied to other math courses. At the substitution remember level, students use ebooks and other open education resources to acquire basic knowledge about statistical tools and procedures. They do not go beyond what is in their device nor go online. At the substitution understand level, they begin a process of gathering information online and describing applications of these statistical tools to an area of interest to them, using simple bookmark aggregation services like Digo to collect and tag these resources, relating them to the knowledge gained in the substitution remember level. At the augmentation apply level, using simple yet powerful tools for visualization like GeoGebra, students explore the concepts covered in the resources described at the substitution remember level and solve related standard problems. The scope and number of the problems is not governed by what is available in the back of the book, but rather driven by the evolution of students' understanding as measured by suitable formative assessment processes. At the modification analyze level, the students also apply similar problem-solving approaches to questions raised in the materials they found at the substitution understand level. In doing so, they will reconstruct the reasoning of the original authors and verify or disprove their conclusions. At the modification evaluate level, students now select a subset of materials studied at the modification analyze level for further critique and/or development, using GeoGebra as their primary analysis tool. Via blog, they explain this work to fellow students and invite their feedback to refine both the clarity of their explanations and the focus of their work. Finally, in the redefinition create level, students refine their blog post into a short digital video, with the goal that it will be used as a part of instructional materials in subsequent years. Working at the upper levels of SAMR tends to be associated with greater gains by students in both comprehension and what they can do with what they learned. Dr. Puentedura says that it gives them some sort of, and I quote, greater agency, greater opportunities to use their knowledge, and opens possibilities for forms of student interactions like peer mentorship and learning from each other. He recommends that teachers should talk about what they are doing, build up an effective community of practice. For new teachers to the model, he suggests they form groups to create what he calls rough SAMR ladders. Pick a unit of instruction and develop a plan to incorporate technology in such a way that they can go up the ladder. Find out what it's like to incorporate technology in this fashion and then apply it in your own class. He also states that we must be open to failure. Many of us find a new technology and after careful planning and lesson, we implement it in the classroom just to have it blow up in our faces. We can rehearse, get everything ready before the class, and still, not everything we try is going to work out the first time, or maybe it's not going to work out at all. Don't get discouraged and learn from what did not work so you can create better, more powerful, and more effective activities. Finally, Dr. Puentedura provides questions and transitions for reflection and guidance to help you move up the ladder and change how you are designing learning experiences. At the substitution level, what will I gain by replacing the older technology with the new technology? For example, what's in it for the students when we change one technology, let's say pen and paper, for another, a laptop or a tablet? The substitution to augmentation. If I added an improvement to the task process that could not be accomplished with older technology at a fundamental level. Let's say, for example, now they can use the grammar and spell check in the word processor or draw perfect circles and lines in the geometry software. Augmentation to modification. How is the original task being modified? In our example, the students can now upload their work and access it from another location. Does this modification fundamentally depend upon the new technology? This can only be accomplished with the use of a laptop or a computer and an internet connection. Finally, how does this modification contribute to my design? It contributes in that the students can access it from another location and continue their work. Modification to redefinition. The answer to these questions lies on how much transformation the class lesson has experienced. The new tasks should reach beyond the classroom. It is important for teachers to feel comfortable with their technology tools. It is okay to start by doing what you already do at the substitution augmentation level, and once you are comfortable with that, then evolve your practices to the modification redefinition levels. This is a perfectly valid approach that would work for most teachers. Also, there are tools that work perfectly fine at the substitution augmentation level, for example. We don't need to overthink the tools and how we use them. For example, a teacher can create a multimedia page where students can access readings, explanations, and class discussion notes. There is no need to push this activity into something more if it serves a purpose. Finally, do what you can with what you know before venturing into new areas. But your north should always be to evolve and get better in the use of technology tools in the classroom. I am Raúl Jimenez from Colegio San Ignacio, and thank you for your attention.